Hello and welcome back to this edition of Daily Actives brought to you by Bootleg Macro. I'm Dustin. We're looking at Tesla once again, and what an interesting day it was. Tesla, as you can tell if you're looking here at the price, and actually I will zoom in because we want to be at 80% zoomed in on this. If we are looking specifically at the prices that we've seen over the past 3 days since July has gotten started, we've seen 261, 254, 259. Now, the one thing that's interesting to me, if you think about the way that that price is moving, it means that volatility is probably compressing, volatility is falling, and that's what we see. The movement is indicative of something kind of coiling up for a move one way or the other, because volatility on the backside of these moves, probably the backside of this week, is going to start to explode. Now, when we look at the 1 day change, we are up 2%. Over the 5 days, we are positive again. We are still negative on the 15-day and the 1 month. Not great to see when you want to see a bullish move up, especially in a stock that's as important to the market as Tesla is, being in the S&P 500, as well as being one of those stocks that people just talk about a lot. We can see, though, that if we look at the trading signals, we do have on the short term a go short, intermediate term go short, and longer term go short. And on the trend indicator, we flipped bearish on the short term, intermediate term, and bullish on the longer term. That is an interesting look. The one thing that will be fascinating is to see how Tesla's behaving relative to its rolling sentiment. Look at this graph here. If you watch some of my previous videos, one of the things I like to see is when the bullishness, which is the green bar, breaks above the 15-day moving average, which is that black line of the bullish or bearishness, because that's a great indication, like it was back here in May, that you're going to get a resumption of at least bullish demand starting to take over. You don't know how far it's going to go. You could get a move where it just kind of goes, plods along, but it's a little bit higher, or it could be the beginning of a massive move that takes you from where you are right now in Tesla at 259 to 315 or 320. You don't know with a stock like Tesla because it can do whatever it wants. And I'm just going to look at the quick buy signal, my trading signals here. These are kind of proprietary. You're not going to understand what they mean, but I do show that Tesla gave me a buy signal at 267. It did give me a buy signal at 293 as well, so take it for what it's worth at that moment. It does look like, though, we still have more bear key 3 signals than we do have bull key 3 signals, so I will probably pay attention to the bear signals until we get a really good look. But before we move on to the larger charts, don't forget to subscribe to the New High newsletter. We send you 25 stocks breaking out every single Sunday right to your inbox. This is a much more close look to what that ultra-fast sentiment looks like. What we can see here is that the ultra-fast sentiment essentially is breaking back above that 15-day moving average. It is at a nice level, though, I will admit. It's only around 53%. Tesla did get down to like 59 or 50% bullishness. It's getting towards the bottom of the range on the daily. If you look to the right here, or to the left, what you'll notice, the problem is that Tesla's just so high on its weekly range. It's already at the top, so you would expect a lot of mean reversion to take a while here, maybe a few weeks, just because of the price move that you've seen of the entire summer. On the daily, though, we could definitely plot back up to 299. There's no reason why we couldn't go from where we are to 299 very easily, just methodically, slowly. It would give it time. We're looking at the price correlation. We can see the price correlation to the volatility is rising. Just like I mentioned earlier, the volatility for Tesla is falling. We can see it's been falling since mid-June. It does look like it's finally going to bottom sometime soon. The one problem that I see is that the setup doesn't look great unless you're going to get a long period of time where the correlation is going to be positive, because definitely this volatility is about to bottom and then start to go back up. So if that is the way that it's set up in terms of price correlation and the volatility, it's not great. When we look at the volume, we can see that the volume has been falling quite steadily over the entire summer. It looks like since the middle of June, we've really been on a decline in our 15-day volume. We have not seen an increase like we did in May. That would be positive to see, to go along with some of the bullish indicators that we're seeing. Because this setup right here on the daily sentiment indicator, where this green line is relative to the red line, I feel very good about that, because I know that when you get to 50%, that's where you can essentially, the trend will take over. And the trend for Tesla has been bullish. You can see that it's been bullish. When we go back and we look even at the daily data, right now, the long-term trend is still bullish for Tesla. It would be very concerning if we get a bearish one next week, or 2. I think that when you get 2 in a row after a long period of time, so like I would have ignored these bearish ones because that's not 2 in a row. But when you get a break and you get 2 of a change after a long period of time, I believe that that's a signal. Right, because if we look over here, that was the signal to buy Tesla at 188 in the middle of May. So we'll be very conscious and cautious about what happens in the next few days, next week or so, specifically for that bullish flip on Tesla. But tell me what you think in the comments below. Are you long? Are you short? Do you like it? Do you love it? Is this even a good review? And don't forget to subscribe to the New High newsletter. 25 stocks to your inbox on Sundays. I'll talk to you soon.